Hello, I'm Duct Tape, and welcome to this tutorial on Counter-Strike. It's usually a hard task being pro at it, but with a few helpful tips from me, you'll be really pro at it. I don't know if I didn't say, but my name is Duct Tape. I'm like really pro at Counter-Strike. Usually if you get pro lessons from pros, it costs in the £1,000 range just for like a 5-minute lesson, and that's not good, obviously, because no one wants to pay that, and I'm doing it for free, so it's really good. My lessons are well worth listening to, so away we go. When you get into the game, you'll start off with 800 cash, $800 that is, not pounds, because this is in fact set in America. Well, actually it's not. Dust 2 is somewhere in Indonesia or something. The first thing you want to do with your 800 cash is buy the other team's weapon. So if I'm CT, I'm going to buy a Glock. Okay, so there we go, I've got a Glock. Now if I was T, I'm going to buy the CT's weapon, which is a USP. The reason why we do this is so when you're in a firefight, when you come into contact with them, they're gonna see the weapon that you've got, and they're gonna say, hold on a minute, that's our weapon, so the person I'm fighting has got to be on my team, so they're not gonna shoot at you. So that's a pretty big bonus, so you can take them out. So yeah, that's tip number 1, I guess. Okay, the second part I want to go over is the part after you've got a few kills, you know, you've got some money up. I've got $9,000 here, so I'm going to go ahead and buy a machine gun. The reason why I buy a machine gun is because it's the strongest weapon in the game, and it has 100 shots in it that you can just fire away, so that's really good if you come in encounter with an enemy and they keep going behind a box like this, so you can just keep on firing. The main tactic with machine gun is to jump around a lot and to go left and right. I'll just demonstrate that right now. If you run out of ammo, just reload, obviously. That's one of the main parts of Counter-Strike, reloading. It's usually bound to the R key. Anyway, the next part I'm going to go over is jumping past doorways. For example, if I've got my machine gun right here, and I'm going to come up to the doorway, and you see, if there's someone behind there, I don't want to get killed, obviously. They're going to be down there somewhere. So instead, I'm just going to jump past the door. Now, they have a really slim chance of hitting me if I'm going to jump past the door like that. So that's a very good tip. The next thing I want to say is with a machine gun, or any gun really, when you're walking, always point at the floor. The reason why we do this is to avoid flashes. You see, if I'm pointing at the floor, the flash is not going to flash me because I can't actually see it, you see? It's good to run like this, you won't get flashed. But if you're running like this, the flash is just going to hit you straight in the face. So always just run like this. If there's an enemy, you can suddenly flick your crosshair up like that. Pros always tell you that you should keep your crosshair at head level like this. That is not a good that's not a good tip at all, because then you're going to get flashed, and the human reaction speed is so fast that you can just move your crosshair up like that and get a headshot. You really don't need to point it at the head. Okay, that's pretty much machine gun covered. The next thing I want to go over is the T's AK weapon. Okay, you can see here, I'm going to grab a USP, as I said, because it's going to confuse the other team. So I've got my USP here, and I've got my AK there. Another great tip is to never ever buy armor. You see, you actually run slower with armor. People don't realize that. And if you're trying to run to the bomb to get it planted or defused, armor's obviously going to slow you down. Armor slows you down a lot more than guns, especially if you buy a helmet. That's pretty much even worse. Anyway, you can see I've got my pointing at the floor thing going on here. That's to avoid flashes. Thing with AK is it's all about one shots at a time. The shots are powerful, almost as powerful as a machine gun, but they're a lot more accurate. So as soon as you step out behind a wall or something, you have to fire just once. The bullet will almost always go to the head. So if, for example, there was someone behind these doors, okay, just need to reload there. After you fired a few bullets, if there's no one around, it's always good to reload. It's just like, you know, so you've always got a full set of bullets ready to let loose on someone. Anyway, there's someone behind there. As soon as I come round, I'm going to want to fire just once, so the bullet is nice and accurate. Actually, that was twice. That was meant to happen. I can just do that again for you. That's once, okay? Just reloading, you can see that there, and pointing the crosshair back down at the floor to avoid flashes. It's going to be a lot harder at long range. So, another good tip from a pro to a noob to get yourself going is to get a really big crosshair, because then obviously if your crosshair is really big and it's taking up like from the top of the door thing to the bottom, if you can see from there to there, you're obviously not going to miss them, are you? I mean, if you've got a big crosshair, it's going to be impossible to miss. But of course that's a bit clumsy at close range, especially if you're looking down at the floor the whole time. You won't actually be able to see the floor, and you might feel like you're floating or something. You don't want that, because it'll make you feel sick while you're playing. So yeah, so as soon as you see someone, flick right up, because you know you're looking at the floor to dodge flashes, and point your big crosshair. One more tip is a technique called bunny hopping. This is very useful. Obviously, if you're pointing at the floor to avoid flashes, you've got your opposite team's weapon out, so they're obviously not going to be able to tell that you're on the opposite team because they think it's on your team. You got your flashlight out, you're ducking. This just adds to that combo of stealthiness and slyness and dodging bullets sort of thing. Bunny hopping, basically what it is jumping really fast down a slope. It's going to be really hard for someone to hit you like this. Just before I end the video up, I just want to go over a couple more things. The first tip I've got is to always run with your flashlight on. Well, not always, because you see, if it's in a very bright area, obviously you're not going to be able to see. But the brightness from your flashlight is going to blind your opponent quite a bit.